So, good afternoon, everyone. So, online students, can I hear my voice? Yes or no to me? Okay, 5 minutes, then start it. Right. So I edited. Okay, right. So any wrong updation is there, bring it to my notice once. I'll edit it. Okay, right. Now yesterday's program is servlet context and servlet config. Actually, yesterday 7th. Now this is yesterday's notes. Okay, right. Find your time and type it out. So here object information is there for you. This you have to watch it. So by yesterday, the complete layout has been completed indirectly. Information about servlet context, config, request, response, print writer, HTTP session, cookie, and this is model layer actually. The three together we call it as model layer. Their beans completed, DAO completed, and JCF completed. Right. Okay. Today's class is small summary. Okay, right. Right. Make it summary of list of objects, nothing but summary of objects from servlet programming. So total 10 objects, servlet context, servlet request, servlet response. We can say HTTP servlet response. Print writer. Then comes your HTTP session. And then comes your cookie. Share cookie. Eighth one is beans, Java, beans. Ninth one is DAO. DAO means data access object or objects. JCF. So Java collection framework objects. We take the support of Java collection framework objects. So on demand, you must be in position to use Java collection framework objects in servlet programming. The 10 objects. Right. Finally, some questions. What is the difference between, if anybody asked, servlet context and servlet config? What is the difference between servlet context and servlet config? Yesterday you had an idea, no? Right. What is the difference now? Servlet context instantiated when web application is deployed. When web application deployed and holding server information like this. 2 points you have to record it. Servlet context is instantiated automatically when web application is deployed into server, and which will hold server information and which hold server information. Only one servlet context object is created for web application. Only one servlet context object is created for web application. Only one. Servlet config is instantiated automatically when servlet program is loaded for execution, and which will hold servlet name, Every servlet program will have its own servlet config object. That's a theory. You have to speak it in a short way. What is the difference between context PARAM tag, that is context PARAM, and INIT PARAM? What is the difference between context PARAM and INIT PARAM? Context PARAM tag, actually. Context PARAM tag is used to initialize parameters to servlet context object. Servlet context object. INIT PARAM tag is the subtag of servlet tag. It is a subtag of servlet tag, and which is also which is used to initialize parameters to servlet config object. What is the difference between get parameter and get INIT parameter? Get parameter and get INIT parameter. Get parameter method. Get parameter method is used to read parameters from the request object. Get INIT parameter method is used to read initialized parameters from the servlet context and servlet config objects. This is the knowledge gained up to now. Okay, right. So among these three always repeated questions in your interview, right? Config, context, and whether you know or not, they'll test it. They are all backbones and generally. So every developer should know there is one context available. Every developer should know there is one config available. So when you know that is available, you can use it. In the logical coding, you can use it. The point. Okay, right? These are the parts covered up to now. So crucial thing is completed. Actually, backbone of servlet. This is the flavor of servlet. Total. Only servlet this is. Okay, right? So some read it. Any doubts are there, you can ask me. So any doubts up to now? Servlet. JDBC is least priority. Frankly speaking, interview point of view, because enhancements came now. JDBC became Spring JDBC, Spring ORM, Spring Data like this. But servlet flavor still remained because servlet trainer only will give the information. When you submit the data from HTML, the data is available in the request object. We are collecting by using one get parameter method. That information given by the servlet trainer. After that, remaining Spring people will come, web service people will come. They will enhance my idea there. So first I have to introduce that part to you through servlet. So when the core Java, advanced Java interview is there, advanced Java means they'll focus on this. I also today conducted 20 interviews for your some mentors. They asked me to write. Advanced Java means we go for servlet generally. Today morning I conducted 20 interviews. I conducted. So there servlet means we go there only. So we go there to the servlet coding. If you know servlet coding, automatically remaining layers will be very, very easy for us. So this is the diagram. Whenever you find time, you analyze yourself and read it. If possible, by heart it. Right? So without seeing, you draw it also, if possible. Right? Okay. If you want to say to your friend, say to your friend, explain to your friend. If he's not listening, also you say it. So that you'll get practice about that terms. Right? Okay. So how to prepare it means first you have to practice this diagram. Actually, this is servlet program here. Here context, config. This layout means one defined layout, and when you go for interview, somebody asked context means start run context down. The diagram should come map. So that is there are not secondary, but one layout we are maintaining, right? In the corporate training process, what happened? We create one virtual image to the student and send it. That happens in the diagrammatical form. So context means okay, that is down context. Start run down. Always I'll draw down only. See all the diagrams I'll draw down. Because throughout the course I must maintain one similar image I must create to the student. There is one kind of technique of training that is. I must not confuse you, right? Here, there, this one flow must be there. And the content I must draw, where I'm drawing from day one, I'll draw there only. Because student will have, who is observing, he'll create one virtual image and you go to the interview. If somebody asks, you can understand, okay, if what is bean means in the, I go to your virtual image there, okay, bean is there, when immediately the bean class rules, bean object, what you've done, you speak it, right? This will play a crucial role to you. After diagram practice completed, take one paper and you speak about each object, what it is. Any methods are there, you write them in practice. If you can practice this one, 80% of questions you can answer. Okay, right. Now I am going forward. Make a adding filters in servlet programming. Make a adding filters in servlet programming. Filters in servlet programming. The title is filters in servlet programming. So already you are a servlet programmer, you can attend interviews, no problem. JDBC servlet, because JSP they'll ask few questions only. So highest priority given for your servlet, second priority JDBC related questions they'll ask it generally. So JSP at last will touch that flower. JSP within 3 days we can prepare it. Nothing is there. Okay, right. So filters in servlet programming. Make it define filter. right? So before writing the definition here, so this is the web browser we are imagining always. Now here, this is a servlet. All our servlet programmers know yes or no. Na? If you say no, also that is yes only. Because time over, no, I cannot come back again. Right? Okay. Right. So servlet program completed. So today only I came, sir, servlet programming ending means we cannot help it. Okay, right. Look here. That is servlet program. Now, generally the request will come to servlet program only. Right? Okay. Java is not popular for object oriented. I'll repeat this point in core Java. I'm repeating here also. Java is not popular for object oriented programming. Moreover, Java is not complete object oriented programming language. Everybody knows. We are not complete object oriented programming language. Our language took the features of object oriented. So we came into market to prove ourselves as an object oriented. It's a wrong statement. We came into market to prove the security actually. So Java language is popular for security. Undoubtedly, nobody can beat you. In the market, any number of domains comes also. At present, you are the top one in security. At even banking domain, one new bank came into market. It want to use one new software, they'll come to you only. Java domain, undoubtedly, they'll come to you because Java is very much prudent enterprise distributed applications with highest levels of security. Everybody knows, right? Okay. If servlet programming is the first program collecting the information from HTML form, because servlet programming is still available. So some people will say advanced Java outdated, they'll say. But why we have to come to advanced Java means here only the first information available. In core Java, you'll read the data from console. You never take the data from HTML. So whenever I want to know how the data is coming from HTML form to Java programming, that information available in advance. So because of this reason, the student should come to advance and learn it and go for the remaining enhancement. Now finally, HTML form data through web browser with the support of HTTP protocol, it is coming to our servlet program. So definitely security is needed. So in the servlet programming, they given one security layer here. Between this web browser and servlet program, they given one security layer. That only filter program. That program is a filter program. So who uses filters means web service people will use filters. Web service means internet service. Providing service in the internet world. Everybody knows internet world means a cybercrime. So when the application is running means definitely we must provide securities, right? So your others brought one concept known as a filter. The filter meaning is servlet is ready to take the request anyway, but before the request is coming to servlet program, you send the request to filter first. From there, you send the request to servlet. So filter will take the request. Then the filter will send the request to the servlet program. So if anybody asks to define filter, the definition is filter is a pre-processing component. Pre-processing component before servlet program. Means before servlet program, it is executed. This is pre-processing component before servlet program. It's a pre-processing component. Right. Make a statement like this. What is filter? Filter is a pre-processing component before servlet program. Filter is a pre-processing component before servlet program. Underline the term pre-processing component. So in the interview also draw this diagram and show like this. So draw this diagram and show it. If anybody given a paper and pen to in the interview, put one. So this is web browser. Request should come to servlet, but in the process of security as a code writer, I can put one filter before servlet. I can keep it. It's called filter program. So filter program is an add-on to your servlet program. It is not touching the servlet. Servlet only over. Right? Before servlet, we are adding one more program known as a filter. We call it as pre-processing component. Now, what this filter program will do generally, right? One more statement here. Second point is, here web browser is there anyway. Here filter is there from today. And this is servlet program. The request is coming to filter. From there, it is coming to servlet from today. So it is not mandatory in advanced Java practice. We are introducing filter and we stop it, right? Okay. Then the web service trainer will continue the filter. Actually, web service trainer only needs filter because web service security is there. No security module is there for him, and Spring security module is there. These two people will pick that filters from me. Filter introduction, filter components, filter construction, filter behavior, filter execution will be introduced by me, part of advanced. That enhancement will be done by the web service trainer and Spring trainer. Okay, finally. So one second statement to be remembered here now, filter and servlet, both will be running on same URL pattern. This you have to speak in the interview. Filter program and servlet program, both will have the same URL pattern. Both are having same URL pattern. So filters and servlets are executed with same URL pattern. See, suppose I had servlet 1. Example, servlet 1, I kept one filter. This filter for servlet 1, the filter will be running with the URL pattern of its servlet. Suppose servlet 2 is there, roughly I'm speaking. I want to keep the filter for servlet 2. Now the servlet 2 is running with some display 2 as an URL pattern. So this filter also will run with the display 2. The statement, the second statement is filter and the servlet program are executed with same URL pattern. Make a statement. Filter and servlet programs are executed with same URL pattern. So filter and servlet, both will have same URL pattern. Same URL pattern you had it. That point you have to speak it. They'll ask in the interview also. Suppose from this web browser, one HTML form is there, action tag is there anyway. In action tag, I written display. URL pattern, I written DIS. The control will go to whom means automatically filter has highest priority. When the two components are available in the web application, the execution controls knows who has highest priority means filter will have highest priority in execution. Both are running in the same URL patterns, no? Right. If I pass the request here, from here, from web browser through HTML form where action is equal to DIS I return. Now the action DIS means where I should come, both are there, no, right? Where I should come means highest priority given to the filter. Through filter, the request will go to the servlet. Make a statement. Third point. In the process of execution, in the process of execution, filter programs will have highest priority in execution, than servlet programs. In the process of execution, filter programs will have highest priority in execution than servlet programs. All of you can remember these 3 points easily, right? Already you know the servlet coding already, but on demand we are going to add one filter. That's all. So filter means one pre-processing. Pre means before, processing means executing. Before executing, that's only meaning of pre-processing. So filter means pre-processing component executed before servlet program. So how it is executed before servlet program, they'll ask in the interview to you. Then you must say filter and servlet will have same URL pattern. If the same URL pattern is how it is coming, then you must say it will have highest priority. Suppose constructor is there, installation block is there for you in your program. One instance block is there, one constructor is there. Which one is executed first? Which one is executed? Again, you start core Java. Why you said that much of confidently constructor? You shocked me now, right? Look here. In the class one instance block is there, one constructor is there. Which one is executed first? Constructor one. So this installation block two. Correct only, no? Right. The answer is wrong only. Which one is executed first? Blocks has highest priority than methods. One basic block constructor. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, four are the pillars of your language, no? Right. Variables, methods, blocks, constructors. These are data holders. Leave it. These are executable components or not? Right. Now constructor, first you say what is the difference between method and block? You reveal the constructor. What is the difference between method and block? Method means method only, block means block only, or what? Right. What is? Blocks are executed. Okay. batch to a right. Look here. What is the difference between method and block? And generally, sir, method means developer has to call it. Yes or no? By class name or object name. Block means developer will not call. Try block, catch block, finally block. The blocks you are not calling. They are not methods. So what is the difference between method and block now? Methods are called by the developer for execution. They wait for the call. Got it right? Sorry. Methods are executed based on method call. They wait for the call. Blocks will not wait for the call. They execute automatically. There's a difference. What is the difference between method and block? If anybody asked, methods are executed on method call. Blocks are executed automatically without a block call. There is no concept of block call. Now say, constructor comes under method of blocker. Constructor is a method. Yes or no? Now constructor is a method means we have to call it no. From where you are calling that? While object creation, there is one constructor call attached with new keyword. New keyword not there means constructor call not there. Understood, right? Right. Okay. Now blocks and methods, who has highest priority in execution? Blocks has highest priority. Now say constructor is executed, instance block is executed. That only. Anyway, I must not ask core Java questions or what? Right. Anyway, so that is the highest basic thing, that is because if you say wrong answer, I also will feel because language, no, you cannot make a mistake. Language not changed. I learned this language in 2001, 2002. Still that only variable, method, block, that all. So languages you cannot make a mistake. Technology means changes will come. That you have to touch it. Language means nobody can change. Variable, where Venkatesh are also, any others are variable only. Maybe presentation pattern will be different, but nobody can change the alphabets. Alphabets cannot be changed in the language. So presentation pattern will be changed. The trainer will present them in different way. According to his convenience, they'll present it. But alphabet change will not come. So these are basic points. Anyway, leave it. Constructor is one method, that's all. When it is a method, least priority than block. You can run it and check it also. Installation block and constructor, right? Anyway, now here the same way highest priorities are there. Your execution controls will look for priorities also. When it is looking for priority here, when it comes there, I want to map to filter and servlet. Both are available. Both are available. When both are available, somebody will have the highest priority or not now. So automatically highest priority goes to the filter. That one I want to speak to you in the interview. In the process of execution, when the execution engine came there or execution control came there, who has highest priority means filter will have highest priority in execution. Okay, right. Now here the diagram what I drawn, I'll paste there the diagram to you. Advantage of filters. They're asking one question to you. Advantage of filters. Filters, listeners, instead of practical, you must be strong in theoretical for interview point of view, because this course is Servlet programming. So not filter programming. So filter related components, you must read carefully and go for interview. So Servlet already you by heart today. Whatever I said to you, you read once and by heart it. Filter I'll be discussing bit clearly to interview point of view. Anyway, so using filters, what I can do? See there. Generally, language means I'll go very for me interesting language only instead of advanced Java. For me, interesting part is core Java only, because new things I can make. Advanced Java kuch bhi nahi rehta. Bore. Daily I'll do that work only. Yes or no? Technology. Any trainer can write the same thing. Change will not be there. Of course, different program, but that only will be there. but languages new comer. Now I'm preparing for Java 17 certification present. I am under preparation. So I'm coming with workshop this Saturday. I'm coming with one workshop again with 17.2. So core Java gives many components: record scheme, shield classes scheme, pattern matching with the switch case. Switch case directly object came for us newly. So in the switch case, up to now you had integers, characters, strings is there. No, now object scheme, object comparison came directly. So new thing happened in switch. Like this, if you look into the language, many new things you can find it. That new things you can apply for technology purpose. Here you can write it and you can make the codes more simple. That is the point here. Anyway, now what we can do with the filter in real time, through filter we do authentication process, authorization process. Authentication process meaning is checking the identity, whether he belongs to this, he is the user or not. That's called authentication, checking username, password, and so filter only will do. Now, before suppose here ID card check not there, I think. In other blocks, they'll check one ID card. No, somebody will stand and check, show your ID card. They'll say it's roughly, right? Okay, that's called authentication. You show your ID card, come inside. Nothing but using your username, password, coming inside. Next, authorization. You had permission or not? ID card is there. You had permission or not? That's called authorization. Any authentication logic, any authorization logic, you can write in the filter. So in the filter, you can write authentication logic and authorization logic. In the filter, you can write data conversions. Suppose in one format, the data is coming. I want to change the format to another format. If you want to do that process, you can do in the filter. So data conversions you can do. Huge data is coming. I want to compress that data. You can do it as a data compression logic. You can do data conversion logics, data compression logics. Now, how many requests came to this servlet program? I want to count it. So you can count the number of requests generated from one servlet. You can write the logic also, right? In your security mode, we had ciphertext. Cipher means what? Converting into unreadable format. When the data comes for security purpose, we convert into ciphertext actually. That's called compress. That also unreadable format. Ciphertext. Whenever you want to do that, that you can say data conversion, you can say indirectly. In security mode, whenever you want to generate any ciphertext, cryptography is there, image editing is there, such things, any protocols available in the network environment, such things you can do in filter. So filter will support servlet programmer for authentication, authorization, data conversion, data compression, and data security formats. Whenever you want to do any data security formats, that codes you can write it and send it to servlet. Servlet is too busy actually. He is the controller. So that all work done by the filter and sent to the servlet. Servlet will do the remaining work, creating bean, controlling bean, taking bean, creating DAO, controlling view. It has more work, the servlet. So when you go for Spring MVC, also controller servlet, the term is there. When you go for Spring MVC, your trainer will use controller servlet, the term is there. So from that controller servlet on, remaining actions happen. But that servlet program will have more work, controlling many layers in the background. So what are the before layers are there, that all you can write in the filters, right? Make a statement. Advantage of filters. First advantage is using filter. Using filter, we can perform authentication process. We can perform authentication process. Using filter, we can perform authorization process. Authentication means checking the identity. Authorization means permission is available or not. Permission is available on authorization. Direct, we had the separate layer is there for security. First layer, that only authentication, authorization. After authorization, data integrity, meaning is whatever the data you're requesting, we connect it to you. That is a part of your security module actually. So because we are giving one information to your student, before Servlet program on demand, I can do authentication, authorization, third one. Using filter, we can perform data conversion from one format to another format. In the data conversion only, you can say security data conversion, you can say, no problem. Data conversion using filter, we can perform data compression. So decreasing the size of data compression. So this is 4 enough. Under this data conversion, you can make it as your data ciphertext, non-ciphertext. You can do data conversion. These are 4 layers. So who will use the filters in the real time? If anybody asked in the interview to you, web service people and Spring people will use the filters. Spring people also, Spring security module is there. The student will have patience or not, we don't know. Because these many modules he has to cross actually. Spring core will be there. Spring MVC will be there. Spring JDBC will be there. Then Spring security will be there. Then comes your Spring boot actually. So whether he has a patience to learn this or not, we don't know. But note it and learn it if possible. Whether course is for you, in the course is there or not, in the course not there or not, secondary. But you update some other modes, take one material and do it, or if then some other. So you must have an idea on them. So that subject means what? If you learn it, you will be confident. In the course they are available as not available as secondary, but you must learn it. Understand? Even I'm preparing for Java 17 certification now. For me, certification not needed. Then why I'm preparing? Because believing us, few students will come. So I must deliver the correct point to him, no? Right. I have to cross-check myself, no? Whether I am in the route or not. When I write my examination somewhere, I can test myself. So whether I am in the route or not, the route of that product or not, we are going to test ourselves so that we give the content to the student. So the student has to, if they are believing us, no, they come to one room and they really believe us. So if I deliver a wrong statement, it may affect some interview. Somewhere 1 or 2 questions it may interview. So why I am speaking that if I learn it, that is an advantage to me. That's what I am speaking to you. If you learn it, that will be an advantage to you. This is the flow. There are small things only. You know JDBC. Generally, actually, Spring Core you can learn. If you are strong in core Java, Spring Core meaning that only. Core Java terminologies with Spring flavor. Who knows core Java? Who knows Servlet program? You can sit in Spring Core within 1 week to 1 week enough, 10 days to 12 days. Spring Core will be over. Already next week we are going for JSP MVC. We are ending Servlet and we are entering into JSP MVC. Who knows JSP MVC correctly here? Spring MVC 3 days to 4 days enough to update it. That's a technique actually. Now, who knows JDBC and these all things? You can convert that JDBC layer to Spring JDBC. No, already termed here. Spring Core meaning is terminology. How Spring, how to configure it, how to run it, how to. That's called Spring Core. Here they cannot write biggest applications. No, they'll take your core Java flavor, references, inheritance, integrated with your Spring flavor. They'll make trained. So this will take some time, 10 to 12 days time it takes because you are converting into new flavor now. Once you converted, remaining 4 days, I think it is 1 day only. If you know correctly, you can correctly, a student can sit with correct command for morning to evening, 6 hours to 7 hours, dedicatedly JDBC is over. that much of easily. Of course, it takes time. Here, trainer support needed because all will be weaker in computer or computer network by Tenenbaum. No, you had one textbook in your computer science, computer networks by other Tenenbaum, very popular. And how many protocols are there? All protocols are available here. So highest level of security, it takes time. Spring Boot very easy. Many people will ask Spring Boot only because easy, no? Easy means students will go very fastly. Right? Easy means students will go there. Yes or no? Easy means they'll go there. So Spring Boot will be easy because less XML configuration is there. If you travel this much, Spring Boot will be dead easy. So these modules, suggestion, whether a part of your course or not, after getting the job also, keep one time and update it. So it adds an advantage for the next level growth. Okay, right. Anyway, these 4 points part of filters. Filters are used by Spring Security and web service people will use these filters. Sir, whenever I want to construct one filter program, suppose whenever I want to construct one servlet program, what are the rules now? Sir, servlet program must be extended from generic servlet or extended from HTTP servlet. Here also, in the process of constructing one filter program, the filter program is implemented from one predefined interface known as filter. Java x.servlet.filter. Using that filter implementation, we are going to construct the program like this. Make it note. The following programming components. The following programming components are used in the following programming components are used in constructing filter programs. The following programming components are used in constructing filter programs. 1. Filter. Filter chain. Third one is filter config. Yesterday servlet config, today filter config. Filter config and filter chain and filter. Now make a adding filter. Let me open this filter once. Java P, Java X dot servlet dot filter, one interface having 3 methods. init method, do filter here. Instead of service method, we add do filter method and destroy method. Make it filter is an interface from Java X dot servlet package and which is implemented to filter program. Implemented to filter program. Implemented to filter program. Filter is an interface from Java X.Servlet package and which is implemented to filter program. Means in the process of constructing filter program, it is implemented. The following are the life cycle methods. The following are the life cycle methods from filter. The following are the life cycle methods from filter. So directly method signatures I am writing here directly. Like this. One is INIT. Like this. This is INIT. INIT method. Just you write the name and keep it. Method signatures not needed anyway. This is do filter method. And this is destroy. So total 3 methods. And destroy. 3 methods we had. INIT, do filter and destroy. 3 methods are there. Same. Still now I not written any program on initialization up to now. This is initialization and this is destroy and do filter. In the service process, we had do filter. See the syntax. So here, servlet request is there. Servlet response is there. One extra component known as filter chain. Anyway, filter chain is available now. Make it filter chain. Filter chain is an interface from Java X.Servlet package and which is instantiated automatically. Right. Java X.Servlet package and which is instantiated automatically while do filter method execution. Do filter method execution. Here do filter method is there, no? Can you see here, right? So while do filter method execution, servlet request object will be created, response object will be created, filter chain also will be created. It's a meaning. So filter chain is an interface from Java X.Servlet package and which is executed automatically while do filter method execution. Great. Now this do filter method sorry, this filter chain, this filter chain will have the following do filter method. It also will have do filter. There is a confusion here. This filter chain will have the following do filter method to link the servlet program in execution process. Do filter method in execution process. Sir, what is the meaning of this all means like this? Right, look here. From the filter, the link should come to servlet. Now this link is established by one method known as do filter. That method belongs to filter chain. That only the second point. This filter chain will have the following do filter method to link the servlet program in execution process. But filter chain object is coming from the do filter method of a filter. Means both are having do filter method. See there. I will open filter chain. Filter chain also will have do filter. Can I see do filter? This do filter has only two parameters. One is request, one is response. Here do filter has three parameters. One is filter chain. The difference. So this one I am copying now. Right. So this is the method. Right. Record this method like this. The method. It is a filter chain. And the last one is we had a filter config. Filter config is an interface from Java X.Servlet package, and which is generally I'm suffering with some health issue. When it is peak level, we'll take a rest until we'll coming only. Right. Now, filter config is an interface from Java X.Servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically when filter program loaded for execution, like your servlet filter program loaded for execution, and filter config will hold the filter name, like your servlet name, it holds filter name. The following are the methods from filter config. The following are the methods from filter config. Some methods. You cannot copy the method signatures. You write only names and keep it. You are maintaining nodes. If not, you can check the nodes. So these are the methods. So one is get filter name, get servlet context, get INIT parameter, and parameter names behind it. Now we have to use these components and we have to construct the program. The point. So we write two programs. One program normally with filter and filter chain using annotation. Second program we write tags used in web.xml. How to? Yesterday you got introduced yourself to servlet and servlet mapping. So I'm going to introduce two tags again, filter and filter mapping here. I'm going to introduce. So two programs we are going to small programs only, two programs. One program to demonstrate how to construct the program using annotation. Second one using tags available in .xml and giving information about your filter config. The two programs, right? Can I do that coding by tomorrow? Right. Okay. Take a break for today.